We had another quick question here. I kind of forgot we mentioned this, but I guess you alluded to it on our Double J episode. There was something about Double J, Jeff Jarrett, and Doink. Any follow-up on that?
What I alluded to, and thank you for bringing that up, because I even alluded to that when we were talking about it for the polls, was Jerry Jarrett. When Jerry Jarrett was working up at WWE as a consultant, doing some different things, and felt that he had been undermined by myself and Pat Patterson, that Vince McMahon put Jerry Jarrett in charge of the Saturday morning television show by the name of Mania. So Jerry Jarrett was responsible for a few weeks during his time and during his tenure in the WWF. He was writing Mania. And his first attempt at writing Mania was during a time that Lex Luger and Yokozuna were hot, and Undertaker, and there were a lot of hot issues. And one of the we were running 3 towns, an A town, a B town, a C town. And kind of in the middle of the card in the C towns was a match between Jeff Jarrett and Doink the Clown. 2 name guys that were working with each other. We did a little thing with them on TV, but they were on the card in the C towns. So Jerry took it upon himself to take Mania, the show on Saturday mornings on the USA Network, and take, out of 6 segments, take 3 segments and devote it to the Doink Double J story. Now, in the big scheme of things, you want to focus your attention on the champion. You want to focus your attention on Brett. You want to focus your attention on Luger. You want to focus your attention on Yoko and Undertaker and the top guys, because that's what all of the other shows are doing. And you really want to concentrate on what's on top. So it didn't look good at all for Jeff's dad to take over the writing of WWF Mania and for him to be featured very heavily for more than half of the show. And so Vince just happens to watch this damn show. And of course, was the norm when Vince would be unhappy with something on television. That time he would usually call me and say, "What the hell?" I say, "Hey, I'm not it. You told Pat and I to not supervise those shows anymore, and that Jerry Jarrett was totally in charge of those." And I said, "I have no idea what he did. I didn't look at it, didn't watch it, don't have any feedback for you, nothing." "God damn, Bruce, you can't let him bury himself like that." I'm like, "I didn't." "Well, you know." And so we leave for TV that day, and Vince is like, "God damn, I got to talk to him." And it was Vince, Pat, myself, and Jerry Jarrett driving to the towns. It's when we were kind of working in the Northeast doing our television tapings. And we stopped at a rest area to go pee-pee, which was during a time that Pat and I would always run. It was a moment we could get away from Vince, from being in a car with him all the time. And Vince decides this is when he's going to take Jerry Jarrett for a walk and talk to him about how he wrote the Mania show. And so Vince and Jerry go off, and they take a walk, and Pat goes off and has a smoke, and I go to the bathroom. We come back to the car, and Vince and Jerry come walking by, and Jerry stays at the car with Pat and I, and Vince goes on to the bathroom, and Jarrett looks at us and says, "Man, I have never been yelled at like that in my life." Pat and I looked at each other and said, what do you mean? What'd you get yelled at for? He said, "He told me that show was the worst thing he'd ever seen. He said that it'd probably be a good idea if I didn't feature Jeff as much." I said, "That's all he said?" "Uh-huh." I was like, "Fuck you." I said, "Goddamn, you didn't get yelled at. You didn't even get a goddamn stern talking to. You want to know what the fuck it's like to get yelled at by the man? Hang around me for more than fucking 2 hours during the day, and you can see what it's like to get yelled at by the son of a bitch." And Jerry was just so distraught that Vince told him he didn't like the show. Well, you know.